Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-January 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Virgo gang in mid-January? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. So let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo gang in mid-January. It's still Capricorn season at the time of this filming. Let's see what Spirit has for you. What's going on? There we go. Thank you. All right, cool. So this is it's a very strong energy of someone who's like, I'm minding my own business, where it's a laying low, one or the other. I don't think this is a bad thing. It could also represent like aesthetics and stuff. So there's like two very distinct messages I always get with this card. And usually it's rare, but it's been showing up for lots of people in recent weeks. I'm not sure if you've had it. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So we see this lovely lady, and she's wearing the wig, and it's like she's trying to blend in with these birds. Not sure if they're geese or swans or storks, whatever they might be. She's like kind of blending in with the birds. That's why I always say this is a very lay low, blend in with your surroundings type of energy. So for a lot of Virgos, you might just be in your own lane doing your own thing, which is pretty cool. Now for some of you, if you've been having issues with any particular people, and I see this can also be an avoidant type of energy where it's like maybe later or maybe another time. Don't really want to touch on this right now. So that's the only real challenge I could see with this card. Now, it could also represent confidence and aesthetics, because I believe that this is a beautiful, gorgeous type of card and energy. So for a lot of Virgos in this time, maybe you're going to change something about your look, how you present yourself to the world, your appearance. So that could be a good thing, whether it's like clothing or physical fitness, you name it. So there could be a big focus on aesthetics with this card. But again, it's someone that's just minding their own business, trying to lay low, which can be a good thing. So maybe some of you are just in that mode, right? Nothing wrong with that. So we're just going to put her down right there. She wants to mind her own business. She could chill right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say the first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Virgo gang. Let's see what's happening in mid-January. While we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So I will say this, last week's reading was focused around communication. It was titled A Surprising Talk, and that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, where either you're talking about topics you weren't expecting to, or maybe talking about people you weren't expecting to talk to. All that could still play for days after. So odd thing though, with the Virgo readings, it's been like we've had really good energy, then rough, then really good, then rough. It's been like step forward, step back, step forward, step back for like over a month now. So we're going to hope to get a little more stability this week. So let's get it going. What do we have here for Virgo? And of course, only take what hits for you. You know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. And we could be looking at your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Virgo. What do we got for Virgo gang? Thank you. All right. Karmic energy. 7 of Pentacles, either waiting for something or it's that really strong karmic energy. I like the 7 of Pentacles. Well, I guess we have to see what surrounds it here before we really judge it. Let's get a couple more. What do we have for Virgo in mid-January? Thank you. Okay. So we do have the 2 of Wands, strategy, planning. This could be a good thing. Let's get one more out. Let's see what shows up. So a lot of outer world type of energy too. So usually when I see lots of cups and lots of swords, that's like mind and emotion. Like a lot of this energy seems to be like outside of ourselves. Okay, so you're gonna have a bonus. There are 2 cards that popped out together. We have the Page of Wands right here on the back end, so that communication energy is still most definitely in the mix. And then we have the 3 of Swords, which will be your bonus, okay? And again, that's just another little footnote, so we'll discuss that in a minute. So let's go through, I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, yeah, the front end is kind of like waiting around, right? Now, I always look at the elements first. We have Pentacles, which is Earth. That's a very complementary type of energy for Virgo. And then we have a lot of fire with the Two of Wands, Page of Wands, a little bit of air chilling. So there is a little mixture of stuff going on. But in my personal interpretations of tarot, when we see pentacles, it represents like earthy, abundance, career, money, family. When we get a lot of fire, that's like vitality. It's our physical energy. It's what we're putting action towards. So a lot of this is like outer world type of stuff. So I'm interested to really see where this goes, because I feel like there's already layers to that we're going to have to dig into, layers to the onion, right? So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number one, we're starting here with the Seven of Pentacles, and we see our pal chilling right next to that bush, waiting for those pentacles to grow. Now, every card has positive and challenge. Let's go through the positives first. First and foremost, this could be someone that is being very patient. This could be someone's patience being rewarded. So if you've been going through a process, you've been being patient with the universe itself, it's like, okay, you will be rewarded. This could be a really good energy of something paying off for you. It does have karmic ties, because I always say this is a big card of reaping what you sow. What you put forth, you get back in return. So we're going to have to see within the reading itself if we get any more karmic energies or things like that, whether it's situations, you name it. We'll take a look for sure. Now, where we come into the challenge with the Seven of Pentacles, it can represent delays. It could represent waiting on something and waiting. It could represent impatience. So again, it could be situations and problems or just things where it's a little gunked up in the energy. So we'll want to take a look at that. There's also a really nice, strong tie to nature for some reason. For some of you, that's like a one-off little message. Now, moving to the center, bit of a different vibe. We do have the Two of Wands. That person seems to be waiting around a little bit too. So I can't wait to see what shows up underneath them. Now, the Two of Wands, as with all twos, could represent partnerships, decisions, choices, being at a crossroads in life. I do really like this Two of Wands because it's like, okay, I have a direction. The direction is clear. I know which way I'm going. So that could be really nice. And some of you might be on the move. This could represent travel. It could represent distance. But I really do like this Two of Wands. A big thing with this card is strategy and planning. So whether there's something you need to plan out or something you are planning or somebody else even, there's a lot of strategy involved with the Two of Wands. It's like, I'm planning my next step. I'm planning my next move. Now, a big challenge with the Two of Wands, yeah, you guessed it. It could represent delays. It could represent indecision. It could represent just hanging around, waiting around, just like this card. So we'll want to really take a look at that. I'm happy that it's Wands. I'm happy that it's fire, because it can represent something shifting in a positive way. Now, we'll get him tucked right back there in the middle and move over to our pal, the Page of Wands. I do like this card. Now, some of you might be connected to a fire sign, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If that's not the case, all pages are students. All pages are messengers. So like I said, last week's reading was like a surprising talk. When we have a page, it's like, all right, there could be some important communication coming in. So we'll definitely want to look at him further. For a lot of you, whether this is new opportunities, new directions you want to go in, there's a lot of potential when page energy shows up, if this isn't representing a person you're connected to. Now, a challenge with page energy, it's not fully developed. It's like limited time only. So it's like, all right, there's a possibility, but it's not a guarantee. That's a big thing with this card. Sometimes it can even be someone that's a little shy or a little bashful to say something. So we'll definitely want to see what's up with that Page of Wands. I do like the elemental mixture though. Okay, when we go from earth to fire, it's like, okay, now we might be getting things moving here. Onto the back end, we do have the Three of Swords as your bonus. So again, this is another little footnote. I always say this card is on a spectrum. It's not always a full-blown broken heart or betrayal. Sometimes it could be a little anxiety. Sometimes it could be something that's a bit of an annoyance, something that's bugging you a little bit. So when this shows up, it's like, yeah, there could be something that's a little bit under your skin. Nothing wrong with that. But if you are still healing from a broken heart or a situation that was really difficult to get through, it's just showing us that, yeah, the energy is still lingering, but it could also be on its way out when we combine it with all the other stuff. So I want to dive deeper on all of it. Virgo, let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What is going on for my Virgo friends, please? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Seven of Pentacles. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Seven of Pentacles time. What's it doing? Why is it here? Seven of Pentacles, please. Very specific. There we go. Thank you. See, it is definitely somebody waiting. So we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Notice all this fire energy that's showing up. And one thing I will say about fire energy, it's extremely unpredictable here. Now, the Queen of Wands in reverse, watch out for issues with fire signs. It doesn't always have to be gender specific, but to me, the Queen of Wands is a card of confidence. Okay, so there's like an energy of doubt here, whether it's like self-doubt or doubting the situation. When I see the Seven of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands in reverse, it's like, all right, is this ever going to change? Is this ever going to get moving? Am I ever going to pick this up? Like, it's just someone that's kind of self-doubting. Okay, I'm not saying it's you, it could be somebody else, but that's the big intuitive message I'm picking up here. Now, if this Queen of Wands was in the upright, it would be a totally different story, which is a card of confidence, and there's a little bravado with this card. In reverse, it's like, I'm not feeling too hot about this. So there could be various situations that you might be doubting in this time. You might be doubting yourself. Who knows? It all really depends. And if that's not you, if you're cool, calm, confident, this could be somebody else. They could be experiencing a lot of self-doubt about something. Now, I can also say with this alignment, yeah, it could be the karmic wheels about to tick over, especially with the earth. Now, all this fire, it could be energies about to shift and change, but we're just going to have to see. Let's keep moving forward. Self-doubt for some reason right here in the front. Let's see what the Two of Wands has. Let's see why that Two of Wands is here, please. God, Spirit Team, what is going on for Virgo? Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. We have another Queen in reverse. Notice all these people starting to show up. So I will say this for some of you, watching for funky group dynamics or a lot of people. I think if you are laying low, that might be a good mode to be in, especially with all these different energies of different people. If you're sensitive to energies, that could be definitely heightening things. Now, the Queen of Swords is usually very serious, calculating, very planned out. So like when I see the Two of Wands, a card of planning. When we see the Queen of Swords, a card of planning. There could be someone where it's like, all right, well, I need to calculate something. I need to make a plan moving forward, but where do I even start? It's like giving me that kind of vibe too. It's like, all right, well, how do I even start, or where do I even begin? It's like giving me that type of vibe here. So it's very peculiar. Now, the Queen of Swords in reverse can also represent a softening of the energy, but I want to mention fire and air. Like we have the air, fire. There's a little bit of earth that calms it down, but I always say it's explosive. It's unexpected. So again, it's somebody that could be in the planning phases, early phases of planning something, but it's like, all right, well, where do I even start? Or how do I even make this work? It's like, I want to move forward with something, but how can I even make it work? Let's keep moving over to the Page of Wands. I feel like we don't need to be there too long, but let's see what the Page of Wands has to say, especially with all these people. It's so peculiar. So let's see what the page has. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Page of Wands here, please? It's being very particular again. I mean, more air to add to the fire. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, there could be something where Spirit's like, don't think about it too much. Don't think, just act. Don't think, just do. Now, I can also say with the explosive energy from all the fire-air combination combo, it could be one of two things. Either a situation that could go 0 to 100 real quick. So for some of you, it could be an explosive situation, but could also be linked to conversation again. Because when I get the Page of Wands with the Ace of Swords in reverse, it's like, I'm not even thinking about what I'm saying. I'm just going to say it. Or I'm not even going to think about doing it. I'm just going to do it. So I could see someone getting to a point where there's like frustration building, where it's like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to say what I have to say. So just know if there's something that's been bugging you or something that's been like eating at you for a while, when I see the Page of Wands with the Ace of Swords in reverse, it's like what I'm saying, I'm not even necessarily thinking it through. Or, I mean, again, that could be advice. That could be Spirit saying, don't overthink it, Virgo. Don't think it too much, act. So now might be the time for action. I feel like it goes either way. Now, usually the Ace of Swords is another card of communicating, just like the page. We have a lot of people. There's a lot of chit chat and talking going on, but this is the sort of truth. And usually when it's in reverse, it's like, all right, well, that might not necessarily be the case, but I'm going to say it anyway, or I'm going to do it anyway. I don't feel like this is a liar or anything like that. I just feel like this is someone that's not quite thinking something through before they say it. Okay, so I mean, Ace of Swords in the upright, it would be much more calculated and planned out like we have here in the center. But in reverse, it's like I'm not thinking about it, I'm just saying it. So again, whether this is somebody else or a mode you need to get into, I guess it really depends on your situation. Mileage may vary, right? Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. So again, with all the fire, the air, the lot of people showing up here, we have a little bit of earth in the front. I feel like there could be an explosive situation or a talk of some kind coming in. But position number one, we have the Seven of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands in reverse. A lot of self-doubt there. Either that or energy that feels a little stagnated, where someone is just waiting, not super confident about something. Moving to the center, we have the Two of Wands, waiting, with the Queen of Swords in reverse. It's like, all right, where do I even start? Where do I even begin? There could be someone in the early phases of strategy and planning in regards to something, but it's like, all right, where do I even start? Moving to the back end, we have the Page of Wands with the Ace of Swords, where it's like, all right, forget all the thinking about this, forget all the planning, I'm just going to do it. So that might be advice for some of you, where Spirit's saying, don't think, just act. But again, it could be a situation that goes from 0 to 100 very quickly, or a talk that is like that, where it's like, I'm not even thinking about what I'm saying, I'm just saying it. So do with that information what you will, Virgo. Please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And I just want to reiterate once again, this doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It could be good for a lot of you. But let's see what's in the shadows. Let's see what's in the shadows. I guess it depends on what you're going through. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. And I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get your shadow card out. What do we have here for Virgo, please? Guides and spirit team. What is in the shadows for my good friends? Thank you. Okay, Six of Wands. All right, this could be a good result coming in. Notice more of that fire showing up for you. So we have a very clear energetic dynamic showing up for Virgo this week. I usually link this card to victory. Right? Usually it's a card of notoriety, getting attention for the things that you do, getting the thanks that you might deserve. So this can be a very good shadow card where it's like, yeah, Virgo, I mean, it might turn out better than you think, or there could be a nice victory coming your way, especially with this in the shadows. However, there's definitely a shadow side to this card. If you are connected to anyone that is highly egotistical, watch out for their energy in this time, because this could be an egotistical energy in its shadow form. For some of you, maybe you're not feeling appreciated. Okay, because that's a big thing with this card too. Like, am I getting the recognition or appreciation I deserve? I mean, again, mileage may vary. Hopefully, I'll claim that this, for a lot of you, this is going to be a nice victorious energy coming your way. But I feel like it's always important to look at the shadow side, especially when we're pulling the shadow card. Okay, so yeah, Virgo, interesting week ahead. That's what it looks like to me. Maybe you might want to lay low. I guess it depends. But that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.